Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a good evening, afternoon. So today we are going to just take a look at the present tense verbs and how to conjugate them. So we are going to notice that our verbs are going to either end with AR, ER, or IR. And so this is very important when conjugating these verbs because that is going to tell us what to replace it with according to who we're talking about. So if we're talking about ourselves, if we're talking about another person, if we're speaking directly to somebody, these conjugations are what we need to follow. So when we're using AR, for example, if we have a word like to swim, nadar, it ends in AR. So we will change this ending according to who we're talking about. If we're talking about ourselves, we would use O. O meaning yo. I swim. Or yo nado. We would conjugate that. We would replace the AR with one of these versions. However, since this is AR, we would only use these 6. We wouldn't use any of these because these are for ER, these are for IR. They're completely irrelevant in the present tense. Okay? So, if we're saying to you, it'd be tú nadas. You swim. If we're saying she or he swims or usted swims, so it'll be ella nada, él nada, usted nada. If we're saying we swim, nosotros nadamos. If we're saying they swim, or you all swim, ustedes nadan, or ellos nadan, ellas nadan, etc. Now, if we have an ER verb, such as one of my favorites, comer, notice how it ends in ER here. So, for example, if we wanted to say we eat, we would once again, we are restricted to these 6 in this present tense. So, O meaning yo, this ending. These are all endings. So, yo como, that'll mean I eat. For saying you eat, tú comes. We would just cross this out and replace it with one of these endings. So another example would be he or she, or usted. So, él come, ella come, usted come. For saying we, it'll be nosotros comemos, because we eat. Nosotros meaning we, comemos, we would conjugate it for this verb in particular. Or they, ellos comen. Escribir. Escribir means to write. And if you look at the ending here, it's IR. So, what we would do when we're conjugating it is cross out this and replace it with one of these 6 endings. For example, for saying I write, it'd be escribo, yo escribo. You write, tú escribes. He or she writes, él, ella escribe, usted escribe. We could also do escribimos, nosotros escribimos, meaning we write. Or we can also say they escriben, ellos escriben, or vosotros escribí. What I have here for you is this regular present tense for verb conjugation. And here's a model here. Mirta, escuchar. So to conjugate this, escucha, meaning he or she. We have some examples here of how we are going to conjugate some verbs, so you can just follow along. Beto y yo visitar. So Beto y yo, if we're saying Beto and I visit, we are saying we visit, right? Beto y yo visitar. So we are going to conjugate this into the amos. If we remember what we were talking about, the chart from before, that's what we are going to be using in reference. So I might put that off to the side here. So Beto y yo visitamos. Usted trabaja. So usted, meaning the formal version of you, trabajar, we would use usted trabaja from the ending. Now let's move on down to here. Tu necesitar. Tu necesitar, we can say that's the same thing as necesitas. Ustedes, mirar, you all look. So you all, we would use, if you need reference, you can write it down off to the side of your paper. So o, as, a, amos, and an. These are the main ones. We're gonna skip the vosotros for now. Ustedes, that would be for an. Ustedes miran. Yo estudiar, it'll be estudio. Los hombres bailar, so the men dance. The men, they dance. So los hombres. A way to help you, if anything, is to see if it's more than one. So try to replace what you're talking about. Los hombres, we can replace that with they, right? If we were talking about them, if we were addressing them as the men, it would be they. Bailan. Then tu hablar, that'll be hablas. You speak. Ustedes compran. So you all buy. That will be an. So we would do compran. Because we're just focusing on these endings here. Jorge y yo hablar. So to hablar, to speak. Jorge y yo means we, so hablamos. Moving onward. To escuchar, escuchas. Because saying you. Ustedes prestar. We would use this version again, you all. Prestan. Excuse the bad handwriting. Yo necesito Hilda y yo nadar. Nadamos. Once again, we're just taking this ending and replacing it with one of these versions off to the side. So now let's move on to the second column. Okay, Paco y Jose dar. They, Paco y Jose. What are Paco and Jose doing? They give. Dar is to give. Paco y Jose. So they an right here. It will be dan. Paco y yo, we need. Paco and I use necesitamos. Necesitamos. Yo cantar. Yo cantar, we would use o. What am I doing? I am singing. Cantar. Anita tomar. She takes. What does she take? We don't know, but we can conjugate that to Anita toma. Los profesores bailar. The professors, what do? They dance. Maribel escuchar. What is Maribel doing? She is listening. Escuchar. Yo enseñar. I teach. How would we conjugate that? Yo enseñó. Usted y Rosa viajar. Usted y Rosa. So when you're saying you and another person, you're saying both of them, right? You're saying all persons included. So usted y Rosa y Marcos y Javier, all of the people that you're saying, they're all involved. We would actually use on referring to everyone involved or you all. Viajan. Alberto trabajar. Alberto trabajar. What is he doing? He is working. So we would use our a ending to get us to trabajar. Alberto trabajar. Angelina navegar. So we would use our ending for he, she, él, ella, usted, navegar. Los estudiantes nadar. What are the students doing? They are swimming. Los estudiantes nadan. Jerónimo levantar. Jerónimo levantar. What is he doing? We would use levanta. Levanta. Marta y yo contestar. What are Marta y yo doing? Marta and I. We would put contestamos. Contestamos. And if we plug in all of these, we have visitamos, trabajar, necesitas, miran, estudio, bailan, hablas, compran, hablamos, escuchas, prestan, necesito. Just, my handwriting, don't mind it. Nadamos. Then we have dan, necesitamos, canto, toma, bailan, escucha, enseño, viajan, to travel, trabaja, navega, nadan, levanta, and contestamos. If we plug that in, they are all correct. We get 100 on our quiz, test, homework. And that is that. So I hope you found this little review useful. I will also be doing the ER and IR endings and also different tenses in the future. So please stay tuned for that. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time.